Hello friends, welcome back to Technique. In this video, we'll do the camera review of the latest flagship from Xiaomi under the Xiaomi 15 series, the Xiaomi 15. Now we have two devices under the 15 series launched in India, the Xiaomi 15, the compact form factor device, which retails for around 59,999 with card offers, and then you also get the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. We have done a lot of videos on that as well. Now in this video, we'll specifically concentrate on the cameras of the Xiaomi 15. Now these are Leica tuned cameras, so let's see how good the camera experience is on this device. What are the pros and cons of the Xiaomi 15 in terms of camera experience? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So before getting into the video, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's first talk about the camera hardware and then let's go to the camera samples. Now we have a triple 50 megapixel camera here. Now the primary camera, in fact the lens is a Leica Summilux lens system, and the primary sensor is a Light 100-900 sensor with f1.6 aperture. It has 50 megapixels and it also has optical image stabilization. It's a custom sensor made by Xiaomi. It's not a Sony, Samsung or other OmniVision sensor. It's a custom sensor by Xiaomi. It was launched last year. Now secondary camera is a telephoto lens. Again, it's a floating telephoto, f2.0 aperture. You get optical image stabilization. It can do 2.6x optical zoom. Last year it was 3x. Now this has been reduced to 2.6x. Now third camera is an ultra wide angle camera. Once again a 50 megapixel shooter. Now there is no optical image stabilization on the ultra wide, and that's f2.2 aperture. Now in the selfie camera you get a 32 megapixel selfie camera, f2.0 aperture. So that's the camera hardware. Now both the rear and the front camera can do 4K 60 FPS video recording. Now in terms of portraits, that's one of the important things. These are Leica tuned devices, so portraits is one of the important things. So we get 4 focal length, the base 23mm, which is the wide angle camera. Then you also get 35mm portraits, then 60mm, that's the 2.6x, and then also 75mm portraits. So these are the 4 focal length available on the portrait camera, and then you get the different bokeh effect. You can change those options, and then you get the master portrait and also the Leica portrait. So those are the two systems available. So let's discuss in detail about how the camera samples have come from the Xiaomi 15. So let's begin. So let's first have a look at the daylight captures. Now you can see that the Xiaomi 15 daylight captures using the primary camera came out really well. The colors are very much accurate, even with the Leica vibrant mode there isn't any sort of saturation issues. I personally like the Leica vibrant mode than the authentic mode, and you can see here the dynamic range looks really good. The sky colors are also rendered really well. Overall the details and sharpness levels is one thing which we really liked on this camera. We have tested other devices in this price segment and found the camera sharpness levels of the primary camera to be really good, and overall details and dynamic range looks very nice. So Xiaomi has done a quite good job, I would say, in terms of the primary shooter, and the Leica optimization also does really good job in terms of overall details. Even in indoor shots also it came out pretty good, and you can also see the dynamic range looks pretty nice and wide. So that was the daylight captures taken with the primary camera. So overall we are pretty much happy with what is being offered. Now the ultra wide angle camera. Now this camera is a 50 megapixel shooter. Once again you can see that the colors are very much similar to the primary camera. There isn't much of shift happening, and overall details and sharpness levels and also the dynamic range looks good. So it's quite good ultra wide angle camera offered on the Xiaomi 15. So there is nothing much to complain. Now moving on to the 2.6x telephoto lens. Once again you can see here the sharpness levels are really good and done really well, and the colors are nice and wide, mostly natural looking colors, and there is no saturation issues. Overall even in indoor shots also the telephoto lens did a good job in terms of details, and the overall quality definitely looks good. Now this also comes with the black and white mode. That's one of the important things about this camera. You can shoot some really interesting images in the black and white mode with the Leica black and white mode available. It can be also be used for portraits, so we'll talk about the portraits in a while. Now coming to the close-up shots, once again you can see here it's really good, whether it's indoor or outdoor. The details and sharpness levels are really nice. The colors are retained very well, and overall quality of the images looks very realistic actually. Even in like a vibrant mode, the colors are very much natural looking. So these are some of the close-up shots, and you also get the macro mode on this device. So macro mode does a really good job. Once again, the details are really sharp and looks very nice. This is using the telephoto lens on the Xiaomi 15. Now moving on to the portraits. Now you can take portraits in 4 different focal lengths, as I said before. Now the portraits are taken using the master portrait system. These are taken using the master portrait system. They come good. The skin tones are good. Although there is a hint of overexposure in some of the photos, but mostly they are pretty done well. And the background bokeh effect also looks good. The edge detection is also done quite well. And you can change the background blur to your liking. Similarly, you can also shoot portraits in black and white mode. These are really good. Some of the really interesting portraits you can take using the black and white mode. And when it comes to the Leica portrait mode, there is a bit of inconsistency, I would say, especially when there is bright sunlight. There is a bit of inconsistency in terms of portraits. Some of these turned out to be slightly reddish in nature, the skin tones, while others did have a slight exposure issue. So I would suggest you to take portraits in the master portrait system. But overall, I would say Leica does a good job in terms of portraits. Now moving on to the indoor shots in low light conditions, or well lit condition rather. So you can see here there is good amount of details of the noise levels are kept to minimum, and it does a good job in terms of bringing details. When it comes to low light, I would say once again it does a really good job. The details are crisp and sharp as well, and the dynamic range also looks good, and there is no overexposing the night mode, making it look actually real. That's one of the good things. Even when you turn on the night mode, it looks more realistic. You don't see sky colors being blown out, so it is more realistic in nature. That's one of the good things Xiaomi has done, and overall quality looks pretty good. The sharpness lens is one thing which we really liked on the low light experience. Now even the telephoto lens at 2.6x zoom does a good job in terms of details in the low light conditions. Now moving on to the selfie camera, the 32 megapixel camera does a good job in terms of selfies. The skin tones are mostly done well, but at times there is a slight reddish hue added. But overall I would say these are quite good selfies with good sharpness levels, good dynamic range, and overall quality of the selfies definitely looks good. And most people will definitely like the selfies. Even the portrait selfies also looks good. The edge detection also done well. So there isn't much to complain in the selfie department. I would say personally I'm happy with the selfie camera on this device. It may not be the perfect one, but it won't disappoint users. So this is the 4K 60 FPS video taken using the selfie camera on the Xiaomi 15. So it can record videos at the max of 4K 60 FPS. 4K 30 FPS also supports HDR quality. So this is the selfie video taken in 4K 60 FPS. Now moving on to video recording, you can record videos in 4K 60 FPS. The footage looks very nice. The stabilization is done well. The bitrate is good, and overall quality also looks good. The sharpness levels, the dynamic range, everything looks very nice. So the 4K 30 FPS footage looks very good. Now similar is the case with the 1080p 60 FPS footage. Very similar colors as that of the 4K sample. Colors are nice and wide, and there is no saturation issues. And even when you're panning or zooming, it doesn't have any sort of issues. The similar case with 4K recording using the ultra wide angle camera. A very similar experience and colors of the primary camera. So that's one good thing Xiaomi has done really well. Now the telephoto lens also produces very similar results. The optical image stabilization works very well. The colors are also done very well, and it's comparable to the primary camera. So color consistency across the lenses is very good, or done really well actually. So this is the telephoto lens 4K 60 FPS footage. So that was a camera review of the Xiaomi 15. So all in all, I would say it's a very good cameras out there. Daylight captures come really good details, good sharpness levels. Sharpness levels is one thing which I liked among all the compact flagship or the flagship in the 50 to 60,000 rupees price segment. This has really great sharpness levels. The quality of images also looks good. The dynamic range is good. The telephoto lens also works very well. Same is the case with ultra wide. More or less similar experience, and the color consistency is more or less similar among all the three cameras, so that's one good thing. Then there is also macro included, which also performs pretty well. We did using the super macro, using the telephoto lens. There also you did get really good options. Now the portraits, if you are using the master portrait system, the portraits are really good detail. The skin tones are very natural, but the Leica portrait system has a bit of inconsistency in terms of portrait. Some areas it does produce really vibrant images, some the colors are not really accurate, so there is a slight inconsistency in the Leica portrait system. So I would suggest you to go with the master portrait system. So that's one area where Xiaomi can improve. Probably with updates it should be more refined in the coming days. And selfie camera also looks good. The low light experience was also pretty good, and the video recording, the 4K 60 fps video was quite good and stabilized. So all in all, I would say as a compact flagship which is priced around 60,000 rupees, it produces one of the best cameras in this price segment. Yes, it has some minor issues like as I said before, the portraits are not very consistent, especially the Leica portraits. But even considering all those options, the Xiaomi 15 has a really good camera system and it won't disappoint users. So that was my experience of the Xiaomi 15 in terms of camera experience. So what do you guys think about the cameras on the Xiaomi 15? Do let us know your thoughts about this device in the comment section. And if you are a user of Xiaomi 15, do let us know your experience in the comment section. This is Namr signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.